He's down in the count 1-2. There goes the runner, and Buecker sends this one high drive to center field, and it's going to get over the head of Hang and all the way to the wall. Watson will stop at third, and Brandon Buecker.
We are here on Generation Next, JBS Generation Next Volume 2.0. We're continuing our month of Buecker here. We started with Robbie. We're going to finish with his brother, Brendan. Outstanding 2023 at Notre Dame High School. We're keeping it local over in Lawrence. Brendan's committed verbally to VMI, Virginia Military Institute, a great program in the Southern Conference. And we will talk about that and more. But first of all, welcome, Brendan. Thank you for stopping by.
Definitely. Thank you for having me on. I really appreciate it.
Absolutely. Looks like we still got you at school there. You're not allowed out at school.
Yeah.
Until late at night, I guess, at Notre Dame.
Yeah, we run late here.
That's right. Let's talk about VMI first of all, because that's a different school from what most people think of with the D1 experience. You know, obviously a good school, good conference, good competition, but a couple things, you know, obviously your brother at West Point. So I'm just wondering like where the military institution kind of checked in your mind and why there and what sold you about the program and how excited are you for it?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, I'm so excited. It's a great spot for me, a great fit. You know, my brother at West Point, he kind of led the way for me. I mean, as at a young age, we've been going to Army Navy games forever, and you know that just happens. That kind of makes me feel great about myself and everything surrounded by it. And VMI was kind of just like a perfect medium for me. I always wanted to play baseball down south. Definitely Division I has been my goal since I was little, and that kind of was met right in the middle in Virginia. And having the avenue to be able to serve after and be able to do that while I'm at school. So I'm kind of killing two birds with one stone, and getting to play baseball there was none other than the SoCon, which is one of the best conferences in the country. And it's always competitive, and the midweek games are unreal there with Virginia, Virginia Tech, North Carolina, James Madison, VCU, just to name some of them. I mean, it was no better spot for me, and I loved the coaches. And once I stepped on campus, I knew this is where I wanted to be.
Yeah, it's crazy. Everybody like college basketball, you know, California, Texas, Florida. Virginia's as good as any in the country when you think of the whole state, right? I mean, you go from like your P5s, Virginia Tech, to like your just belows that are still awesome. I mean, Old Dominion was a number one seed in a regional. VCU was the Atlantic 10 champ. You know, I mean, it's such an awesome college baseball state.
Yeah, definitely. And VMI definitely has some respect throughout the state. So it's even better getting to play all those schools. Like they just released their schedule and you see they play all of them. And it's great midweek games, always competitive. So it should be fun.
Right. Never have to leave the state.
Yeah, I know. Great baseball all around.
It's not a bad state to be in either.
No, it's a good spot. I'm excited.
Yeah. So you mentioned something that I thought was interesting about ability to serve and give back. And obviously being able to do that at VMI. I guess two questions. I don't want to give you too many questions at once, but obviously something important to you and your brother. You know, is that something that came from your parents and kind of worked its way? We'll start with that, you know, is the giving back. And I guess, well, the other thing is, what are the requirements after graduation at VMI?
So the way VMI works is you don't have to serve. It's actually the largest ROTC program in the country. So it gives you, you can choose from 4 branches. And so once I go there, I plan on doing ROTC to go and enlist. And I'll come out as a second lieutenant in whichever branch I pick. And from there, I'm then required, I believe it's 5 years of active duty. So I plan on doing that. But if you just wanted to go as a normal student, you could, and then you would come out and wouldn't have to serve. And I feel like my grandpa had served, my uncle was in the Marines, then So we kind of got involved at a young age, and it's just kind of stuck with us. And then my brother being the first one to do it kind of hit home to me, and being able to play baseball at a military academy. And that's just always something that my dad has preached, that like no human can really take away what you get from in the military, the experiences you're given. And my dad has kind of taught me that you're not going to have a better experience in life than being with your brothers out in the wherever you are.
Except the Army-Navy game was a little disappointing this year.
Oh yeah, it was a tough one. It was a good game, and everything surrounding it is nothing like it in the world. So
First loss that your brother's taken, right? Because
yeah, no, I think they lost freshman year too. His freshman year.
okay, but they've had kind of the upper hand after a long
Yeah.
period of I think they lost like 14 in a row.
Yeah, I could remember going every year. You count up the 12, 13, 14, and then they finally beat it. And it's been back and forth since. So it's almost better that they won.
Yep. So we've got college covered. I guess the question is, we know a little bit about how your brother's process went, as far as all the extra paperwork that people don't know about, and the congressional sponsorships and things like that. Is VMI similar, or is that more of a traditional application?
It's more of a traditional application. You don't have to go through all the what he had to go through with getting a recommendation and all that and all the requirements. And I felt like also that was a good fit for me academically, because my parents wanted me somewhere I could go where I could thrive. And I definitely looked at West Point as somewhere where I wanted to go. And the academics at VMI are definitely not as strenuous as West Point. So the application process is a little easier, but it's still like your normal application process.
Yeah. Just everybody associates, West Point, Annapolis, but they don't really think about, VMI. Even Air Force is kind of like not quite Army and Navy. It's like they seem to get like kind of the short end there sometimes.
Yeah,
But
definitely.
to Notre Dame baseball, right? We got, it's like we're not even talking about your senior year yet. We're talking about your junior year here still, but you got quite a senior class. Got a pretty strong team, I guess, again in locally, but also know you got to be pretty darn good to win that non-public bracket. There's some crazy good teams there too that that you face.
Definitely. Yeah, I mean, last year we played competitive with St. Augustine. They threw a bunch of arms at us that were D1 arms that we competed with. I mean, we left 10 guys on base in a really competitive game. We played defense well, so I feel like this year, come down to win those games, we just have to have timely hitting, and I feel like we have a shot to compete this year.
Who's our big arms that you're going to be catching?
Well, our first big arm is Caleb Kempler. He transferred in. He's going to Marist next year. Sadly, he has to sit out 30 days, but once MCTs come around and playoffs come around, he'll be big time for us. And then we have some younger kids. We have a junior, Luke Foley, a sophomore, Don Bizzoni, who will be pretty good. So we're going to be a young staff. So I feel like we're just going to have to grind teams out with hitting.
Now, who won MCTs this past year? Or was there one, because it was so
we had
a Hopewell.
Yeah, we had a CVC tournament and Hopewell won. It's
right.
Funny enough, we beat up on Hopewell in the regular season. We beat them by like a combined 20-something to 3, and then we didn't come to play, and they beat us in the first round. So
now, none of my Hopewell background came through in that question at all, right?
That's funny.
Very conveniently forget about the regular season games and just remember one playoff game. But no, so you still have to win an MCT then, right?
Correct. Yeah.
Your brother got one, at least one.
How many? My brother got one his senior year.
Yeah, because I know we had the highlight of the last pitch, and he threw his glove about like 3.5 miles in the air, and we're still waiting for it to come down, I think.
Yeah, that's a good video.
Yeah, so you were 8th grade then, right?
Correct. Yes.
So you got to see it, didn't get to experience it, but no, obviously that's got to be a goal that's pretty high up on your list for this year.
Yeah, definitely. And seeing my brother and all his senior class and all his best friends go through it and kind of what it took to get there was another thing that really hits home to me, is like what it takes. I mean, they all were such a close group. I think they had like 7 seniors start that year, and it took 4 years really. And that's what it's going to take for us. So
Yeah, it's a lot of I always thought there's so many schools in Mercer that you go against these guys for so many
Yeah.
years, right? It's kind of cool to get to play that at the end.
Yeah, definitely. And this year should be just as competitive as any other year. So
Yep, yep. So your brother's influence. I mean, obviously off the field, you know, go into probably some help with the academy process, but to see him, 4 years older than you, so you never really got to share the field with him, play on the same field, but never at the same time. Um, what how big of an impact was he? The example that he set to you and your career.
So my brother's influence has been big time, and especially with my decision to go to VMI. He's one of the first people I text to ask like what he knew, any knowledge that he could give to me, just so I knew more going into it firsthand from someone. And I mean, I've been catching since as young as I know. I mean, I have pictures of me at 6 years old catching, and him being a pitcher has been big time for me. Having a connection from pitcher to catcher has been unreal. Talk to him about that stuff and what his plan is, and catching him now has been great because I get to see an arm like him whenever he comes back for Thanksgiving and Christmas break, and just his work ethic kind of set me up because seeing him do everything every day, and especially at a young age, you get influenced by it because you want to work just as hard as him, and just kind of seeing what he did was something I want to accomplish, especially senior year. Him being first team all non-public, first team all state, CVC player of the year, MCT champion final, MVP of the MCT that's just something that I want to do as well. And seeing him do it knows what I know what it takes to kind of get there.
Definitely. You do your training where?
I train at Compete Academy with a guy named Steve Johnson and Rob Corsi.
Yep. So you train like an hour. You go that you're not training right around the corner, right? You're training.
No,
You
I'm not. I mean, yeah, it's around 35, 40 minutes with no traffic, but you can get traffic here and there. It could take up to an hour. So
yeah. What is it about there that got that you like, and why do you like working there, and why do you not versus staying a little closer and saving some gas money?
yeah, definitely. I mean, the first time my brother went for the first time, and when he went there, he told my dad about everything and how it's just a good tight knit community when he went there. So I was probably around 10 when I started going. I mean, there's videos of me hitting off the tee when I was just swinging away, and now I've kind of like fluctuated since I was 10 because obviously didn't train as a 10-year-old too much. So then once I started getting to like seventh graders, when I started going regularly in the winter, sixth, seventh grade, and just the relationships I've built with people there. I mean, kids such as Andrew Lombardi is just one of the names that comes up to my head, that kids I've met and become close with there. I mean, I met so many kids, and the training there is top in the area. I mean, Steve Johnson is a great guy. Always helps me out when I need anything. Rob always helps me out when I need anything throwing or putting together programs that are specialized to you. And the facility is unbelievable. I mean, just open space for anything you need to get done, pitching machines, anything you need, they have it there. And I feel like I've just always wanted to go back and just get better. I mean, they've helped me where I am. Without them, I don't know where I'd be. So I feel like that's been the biggest part, was them pushing me along the process.
But so you play with Ascent,
Yeah.
and you've done that for a while too, right?
I've played with Ascent for 2.5 years now, and when I played with MSI, I had different coaches, but now my coach is a guy with the name of Travis Fitta, who's been awesome. He came in, he kind of stepped in this summer. We didn't have a coach for a little while, so he kind of stepped in, took us under his wing, and now he's been just running away with us. I mean, our team is just a bunch of guys that are just trying to play college baseball right now, and I feel like we've come together so much over the summer, and we grew over the tournaments, and I feel like those guys are the guys I want to play with the rest of my summer.
Favorite part of Notre Dame life? We're gonna hit you with some random questions.
Definitely the student sections. We love to go to our hockey games, our basketball games. I can't participate in the football student sections because I'm on the field, but I definitely have some good times at these games.
I was gonna ask you. You kind of hit that then, so I'm glad you did. But Favorite sport to be in the student section for at Notre Dame?
Oh, hockey. We all get together for our hockey. We go to the games. We're excited. The games tend to be late sometimes, so it's good. You get everything out of the way before, and then we all go hang out and watch hockey.
Why is high school hockey I think, the most low key, awesome high school sport?
I don't
around?
know. We all tend to gravitate towards it recently, especially since basketball hasn't started yet. We needed a winter sport to go to, so hockey's kind of been that one. So it's been a good time.
Got like a little cold environment there. You got a little bit of like just enough violence to be legal, but still, get everybody going.
Yeah,
Right?
definitely.
I feel like it's the perfect sport to chirp when you're in the crowd too.
Oh, I know. Definitely. It's so fun.
Like I don't know if I feel as good doing that in basketball or, I guess that or wrestling maybe.
Yeah.
Favorite subject?
Probably history. I like learning about different history, preferably U.S. history. It tends to be my favorite subject. Learning about like the Civil Wars, the World War, stuff like that, and just how the country came to be.
What do you think you're going to miss most about New Jersey when it comes time to go to school?
Oh God, probably the shore. I mean, I love the summer, going down the shore, hanging out with friends, and the food. Definitely, two things I
Yeah,
miss the most.
I think correct answer is pizza. I don't think there's pizza in Virginia.
We're gonna have to improvise on the food section down there.
Yeah, but a couple of years you'll be able to like ship all that stuff anywhere anyway. You'll be all right.
I am. Yeah.
If you could be D1 in another sport, what would you pick?
I'd probably pick football. I mean, football is my second sport. I love it. I mean, during the fall, there's nothing like it. Getting ready for a game on a Friday night under the lights. I feel like taking that to another level would be really fun.
What's one part of your routine, your game day routine that has to be there no matter what?
Probably before every morning in school season, I always have bacon, egg, and cheese. I try to always have one. And then during the travel season, I always have to have my AirPods. I always have to listen to music before.
Favorite Halloween costume of all time?
Oh, of all time?
Yours, not somebody else's.
Mine?
Yeah,
I mean,
that you wore.
I wear a jersey. I'm a jersey guy. I always wear my jersey on Halloween's. Just a different player jersey. But
now, do you just wear the jersey and say, yeah, I'm so and so, or do you actually put a little effort in?
No, I wear the jersey and say, oh, I'm Steph Curry or something like that. That's probably got to be my favorite.
I don't even think you should get candy for that. I think that's just like no effort involved.
I know. Yeah.
Any favorite holiday?
Thanksgiving. Thanksgiving is my favorite holiday for sure. I love it. Everyone comes to our house. We play a Thanksgiving football game with all the kids in our town. It's probably like 60 kids this year. We had 60 kids, and then just coming home, hanging out with family, and watching football and eating food. I mean, there's nothing better than it.
Favorite sports team, not including Notre Dame High School or VMI. Any sport.
Probably the Eagles. My grandpa grew up in Philly. My dad's a Philly sports fan. So I've just grown up like in Philly sports, and I've gravitated towards it ever since.
Brendan is now number 1 on the official Buecker ranking list. Excellent. Well done. Proudest moment on the field?
God. Probably my first home run on a 60-90 field. It was with a wood bat, and it's just my mom and dad were there, and it's just kind of like I had been kind of an undersized kid my entire career. I hadn't really been able to like put juice in a ball, and it's kind of been like flares everywhere. And I feel like once I started to fill out a little, I've been able to get under one and get behind balls. And now ever since, it's been better. So probably that just felt great.
When and where was that?
I was at Diamond Nation actually the summer. So
Metal or wood?
Wood.
Okay, so it was a real home run.
Yeah. Yeah.
Not one of them cheap ones, not one of those aluminum bat homers. That's a real home run. That's good. One thing we don't know about Brendan Buecker.
Is that I actually have like a soft spot for dogs. I'm a really big dog guy. I actually had a dog and she passed away about a few months ago, so that kind of hurt. But I'm a really big dog guy. Kind of hits my heart.
What type of dog will your next one? Because it's not Wood, it's will your next one be. I'm sure you will have another one at some point.
I'm not sure yet. I mean, I like bulldogs. I like golden retrievers, cocker spaniels, beagle. I don't know yet. I have haven't thought that far yet.
Last question. Why is this show going to get more clicks than your brother's?
I feel like I can relate more to the general public than my brother. But I think they both should get views, so.
Agreed. Absolutely. I appreciate the time. It's Brendan Buecker. Thank you for coming today.
I really appreciate it.
100%. We look forward to watching you this year get after an MCT title, competing against some of the best in the state in the regular season and the postseason, and certainly getting yourself ready for that D1 experience coming in fall of 2023. We got a couple. I guess you can beat Robbie by getting 2 MCTs the next 2 years.
Yeah, we definitely can beat him then.
That's right. So again, Brendan Buecker, our guest today. We appreciate it. We thank you all for watching. Happy New Year to everybody, as this is going to air for the first time on December 31st. We look forward to seeing you all in 2022 and hope to catch you next time.